Hello, Keller Williams and the rest of the real estate world. Jason Abrams coming to you live beyond the brick and steel here in the Win-Win Studios at Keller Williams International in Austin, Texas. And I couldn't be more excited to bring to you the last Script Championship of the year. This is it for us. This is how we are winding down 2020, and we have an amazing group that's going to be with us today. So, yes, I'm back. Yes, it's another cashmere sweater. And yes, we are about to cover all things script and dialogues, because when you understand the power of your words, you become amazingly powerful. So this is an interesting time of year where we get to look back and reflect on all the things we did really well, and then look forward on all the things that we want to be doing really well next year. If you have not found the success and joy that you want through your real estate business, I would submit to you that one of the easiest things that you can change is your knowledge of the words that move people into action faster with you than without you. Everyone you are going to see today is absolute script Jedi. And everybody who's won all of our previous events, they are absolute script Jedi. And as you know, we are continuing the March to Family Reunion. Now, we've had some amazing winners already come through. Like, let me just set the stage for you here. Anna Kalinsky, she was first. She came at Mega Camp and wowed the capacity crowd. She used words most of us had never heard, and she did it in a style all her own. She is sitting comfortably waiting to see who is willing to walk down the road of champions. We already have David Huffager, Scott Maloof, and Ashley Nicole. They are there, and they're waiting because they want a chance to compete. This family reunion will have one of the largest audience in the history of all things digital real estate related. And this competition will be the cornerstone of it. Today, we have 8 more competitors who want to try their hand. And as you know, there can be only one. Now, you decide who is moving on. And you do this through the majesty of live voting. So you can see it right here. You want to go to live.voxvote.com. It rolls off the tongue. And then you want to enter PIN number 71730. This way, when I say vote, you'll be able to go in and you will vote in real time. And I've seen this. The votes go up, they go down, and then somebody whispers in my ear and tells me who is moving on, and that's how we know. And then as you get it, we move through an NC2A round-robin style tournament all the way to the finish line. This is very exciting. Now, why is this so exciting? It would be enough if we just had 8 script Jedi from around the country that wanted to participate. And by the way, we have that. It'd be enough if we were coming to you each and every week to do this as we build up the family reunion. It would be enough if we simply said we were donning the first champion of the Script Master. But there's more to it than that. Because here's the thing. This competition, as far as I know, this is the first time in the history of ever on this sort of scale over 50 different countries all participating in the Script-Off. We've seen these scripts translated into different languages, and literally we are all national and worldwide with as many of a potential of 250,000 real estate agents watching this right here, right now. So if you're not excited, then maybe there's something wrong with you, because I am excited. So without any further ado, release the bracket. This is what we get. Oh, I didn't even realize. Okay, this first round is going to be explosive. John Dietz and Kristen Cole in the first round, I mean to tell you, both of these people have been mentors of mine. I'm inspired by both of them. I can't believe, usually when you have superstars like this, you put them at opposite ends of the bracket. But this is how we're going off in the first round. So good. Okay, hang with us because we are about to bring you the first round. All right, here we are. Kristen, how are you?
I'm awesome. How are you?
I'm so good. Thank you so much for being here. Are you in Alaska or Scottsdale?
I am in Alaska today where it's a balmy 10 degrees.
I absolutely love it. John, how are you, sir?
Every day is a great day. I'm truly blessed to be here, excited to be with you, Jason, and extremely nervous to be going up against Kristen. Holy cow.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I do not envy the position you are in, sir. Both of these amazing real estate agents are absolute script Jedi. There's absolutely, regardless of who quote unquote wins the votes on this one, both of these people are absolutely mentors of mine, and they both have already won because neither of them will ever give up. That's the cool thing about it. Kristen, call it in the air, heads or tails?
Heads.
It is heads. Would you like to go first, or would you like to listen to John go first?
I'll go first, Jason. Let's just rock and roll.
I love it. All right, here we go. So, okay. So, Kristen, you're talking to a seller in this moment, and it's either via Zoom or you're sitting in front of them and they say, look, Kristen, I really like you. I think that this makes all the sense in the world. We want to sell, don't get us wrong, but we're not going to be able to find a house. There's nothing else on the market. We're not ready to put our house on the market unless we knew where we were going to go. We're kind of stuck, but we really appreciate you coming over today.
Gosh, boy, Jason, I can sure understand that. Let me ask you this, and this is kind of an interesting question, but I have to know, are you actually a buyer right now, or are you a seller, Jason? And here's what I mean by that. Do you actually need to sell your house first in order for you to purchase another home?
Well, we need the equity out of our house to use as the down payment for the new house. So I think
you do need to sell your house first then, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. What if you could have your cake and eat it too?
I love that idea. How would I do that?
Well, what if I could show you that we could negotiate the sale of your home and get you more money than you ever thought you could get and keep you living in it until we found you a suitable house? Would that work for you?
I guess I'd have to learn more about it, but yeah, that could work for me.
Well, sure it could. And here's the thing, Jason, right now we are not in a red hot market. We are in a white hot market. And here's the thing, I can get you more money today than you ever thought humanly possible. Are you willing to be a tiny bit inconvenienced in order to get that money?
I love it. Break script. That was a minute on the clock. Fastest minute in real estate. The thing that I loved about that the most is the difference between the red hot market and a white hot market. And Kristen, you're right. We've never seen anything like this. That's one of the things about being a realtor is that we have to sometimes get people uncomfortable in order to have them do the right things. I love that. All right, John, put 1 minute on the clock for me, you guys. John, we're at the house. I'm the seller. I think you're great. I think you got a really good plan, but I'm not going to be able to find what I want to buy, so I don't think we can put our house on the market today.
Yeah, Jason, I really appreciate what you're saying. And here's what I'm hearing. You want to sell your home. And if you were to list your home today, you would hire me. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, totally get it, Jason. And if there was another property that was on the market that was exactly what you were looking for, we'd go make an offer on it right away. And then we would put your home on the market. Is that correct?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay, cool. We're doing great. So just a couple more questions for you. If I was able to get a contract on your home with a contingency that the buyer give you a 60 or a 90-day lease back in order to give you more time to purchase a home, would that make you more comfortable in making the right decision and hiring me today?
Yeah, you think they would do that? A buyer, I mean?
Well, you have absolutely nothing to lose because we would make it contingent on them agreeing to a lease back, correct?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Cool. One more thing. If we were able to make the contract contingent on you finding a home, and you could actually cancel the contract as a seller if you weren't able to find a home to make an offer on within that 60-day period, would that give you more comfort in making the right decision to hire me?
I love it. Break script. Time is up. Easy out listing, John. I like it. You're putting your money where your mouth is. So both different approaches. And by the way, different cadences. And again, there's no wrong answers to any of this. It's just which one resonated with you. And here's the hope. And Kristen will tell you that scripts aren't meant to be learned necessarily word for word in all cases. We're simply trying to help give you a framework by which you can find your unique voice. So, by the power vested in me by Gary Keller and Josh Team, I now declare the voting officially open. Go vote. Okay, Kristen. The theme for Keller Williams over the next 2 weeks is all around goal setting and why it's important. Anything that you can teach us, I would be so indebted because I think you'll remember this. You actually helped me write my first set of professional goals when we decided to expand. And for that, I am so grateful to you.
You know, I think when I think about goals, Jason, for me, it's really all about growth and because growth, when you're thinking about your growth, you're really never stopping. It's really, you know, I look at it as being guided by what we call just 4Gs. You know, every year we want to be gritty. We want to be out there and look at what we have and not wish for a different market. It's the market that we've got. So how do we, you know, with our grit, go out there and just make it happen? And the second thing is, do we have the grace that we can give other people, even though it's not deserved sometimes? And then go grow the heck out of your business. And finally, be a giver. So to me, it's not just about goals. It's about the whole package, the whole 4Gs. And I think it's important that we think about it that way because it's, if you're only goal oriented, there's probably a piece of you or a piece of your business that is a little rougher around the edges. So I like to think about it around what we would call the 4 Gs.
I love that. I got grit, I got grace, I have growth, and I have give, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a
You got
model
it.
for everybody. Thank you for that, Kristen. John, when you think about goals, what's the 1 or 2 things that jumps to your mind? What do we need to know?
First thing I think about is one of my mentors, Zig Ziglar. And Zig Ziglar would tell you that you can't hit a goal that you can't see, and you definitely can't hit a goal that you don't have. And so few people actually set goals and write them down and keep them where they can see them on a daily basis. And then the other thing that I would share is something that I've learned reading the 12-week year recently, and that's the difference between lead measures and lag measures, and focus on the activities because you control the activities. When you focus on the results, you're going to be tempted to give up when things get tough. When you focus on the activities, you always succeed because you control the activities.
I love that. Kristen and I know a guy named Gary Keller who's been talking league and lag measures, Kristen, for as long as we can remember?
Yeah, forever. And people get stuck in the valley of disappointment. And that's why they don't ever get to the finish line.
I love that. Cody Gibson told us the other day, he said, it's okay to get stuck in the valley, have the 5-minute funeral, and then move on. I thought that was so great. All right, so we got this thing. You all voted. You all spoke. And again, both of these people, absolute script Jedi. That's why it was so difficult to vote. Amazingly close vote. But hey, Kristen, I love you. Have a happy holiday. John, you're moving on to round 2. We're going to see you in a minute. Congratulations. But I'm telling you, John, you got some stiff competition coming your way. All right, you guys. That was a heck of a first round. I mean, you think about that for a second. Kristen Cole, by the way, runs one of the biggest businesses that we have at Keller Williams. It's an expansion team ranging all the way from Wasilla, Alaska, all the way into Scottsdale, Arizona, and then a bunch of points in between. Anytime you can get someone of that caliber, I guarantee you she is an absolute script Jedi. I also thought it was really interesting when you said, hey, Kristen, talk to me about goals. She not only knew about goals, but she had turned it into a 4G acronym in her mind. Here's what I think the takeaway from both Kristen and John were. Both of them have found a way to use goal setting, not just as an idea, but in a tool in their business. And I'd like you to consider this for a moment. This is the time of year where you're going to look back and take inventory of all the things that you did over the year. You're going to look forward and kind of decide what you want to do. Many of us will have moments of clarity around goal setting, meaning we'll sit down and we'll write out the numbers really quick, and it all seems so clear to us and we'll understand it. But it doesn't always play out that way over the course of the year. Do you know anyone who's ever joined a gym in January? Yeah, me too, right? Or how about this? How about when you know you want to do something, but it's based on having belief and then discipline, and over time, those things are hard to maintain. I would submit to you that we're having moments of clarity and that the people who achieve their biggest lives, those are the ones who maintain that clarity throughout the course of the full year. And I'm using a year as a placeholder. So remember, this year that we're talking about, that's kind of set up for tax purposes. I'm using it as a way to capture your mind around a defined period. And then I want you to ask the question, what would have to happen in my life such that when I set a goal today, I would maintain it throughout the next 12 months? See, this is the difference between being momentarily enlightened and actually finding enlightenment. I would submit to you that it's the distance and the length of time by which we can make those things a reality that make all of the difference. Now, we are going into a second round. Now, I know Rumana and I know Catherine. They both run really different businesses, but they're both amazingly dynamic. They both totally have it going on, and I promise you, they're going to have answers for these scripts and dialogues. I just know it. This is going to be awesome. We already have John Dietz waiting in the round 2. One of these powerful women is going to be meeting them, and then we are going to see who moves on. Here we go.
Awesome. Wonderful.
All right, ladies. Catherine, how are you doing?
Good. How are you, Jason?
I'm so good. This is so much fun for me. This is like I get to see all my friends. And Rumana, how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I am fantastic. All right.
Fabulous.
We're starting on the far side here. So, Catherine, call it in the air.
Head.
And it is heads. Would you like to go first or would you like to listen first?
I go second.
You're going second. Okay. Rumana, I'm coming to you. I'm putting 1 minute on the clock. And here we go. Ooh, I want you to think back, Rumana, to the days of open houses. Now, some of us are still doing them, but I'm taking you all the way back to 2019. And it's somebody who says, yeah, I like the house, but I'm not seriously looking to buy right now. What would be the words that you would say to them by which to begin the relationship? You got 1 minute.
Okay. Well, I understand, but when you find the right house, I bet you'll be serious, right? So
Sure.
let's go ahead and tell me everything you want in a house, even though you think you're not going to get it. Because the more you tell me, the more I will know what you want. And I bet you want more, don't you?
I
So
do, but I don't know that I'm ready to actually like work with a real estate agent.
Okay, let's do something. Why don't you have nothing to lose? Let's sit down. Let's make an appointment because a home buying is a process, right? You agree?
Sure.
So what we will do, let's sit down, meet, and I will explain all the process to you. And so you can be prepared. So when the right home comes on the market, then you're ready to act.
I love
Now,
it.
Wonderful. I have Monday and Wednesday at 3 p.m. available. What works best for you?
I want both those time slots. If I can meet with you twice, Rumana, I would. I love that. I think it's really good. It's really smooth, and it makes sense, right? Start with a wish list and see where we go from there. I love it. Catherine, we're at an open house. I like the house, but I'll tell you, I'm not really ready to buy right now, and I'm not ready to work with a realtor.
Jason, I was really hoping to put a red bow on that house for you today. No, I'm just kidding. Well, Jason, normally people go to an open house for two reasons. They're either looking to buy or they're looking to sell their own house and compare other houses to their own. So since you're not looking to buy, I assume you're in the market to sell very soon.
Well, yeah, I guess I kind of am. I'd have to sell in order to buy, so that makes some sense.
Okay, great, Jason. What's the address?
123 Gary Keller Street. It's a beautiful neighborhood.
All right. So why don't we do this? Why don't I come by your home at 123 Gary Keller Street tomorrow, 4 p.m. I give you a free estimate of your home, and then we discuss the further steps.
I love it. Print it. Guys, that's 45 seconds. Both of our contestants right here, they managed in 45 seconds to actually explain value and get out, let's set an appointment. And both of them used assumptive close. Both Jedi in the extreme sense of the word. I love that. All right, get to your computers right now. Open up those windows and vote. The voting is open. Okay. Rumana, I know, because you're living a really big business and a really big life to go with it. Is goal something setting? Do you do that on an annual basis?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we all have to.
So how do you
Right?
think about goals? And what's the one thing you would share with some of us that may be having trouble accomplishing our goals?
Well, the trouble accomplishing, okay, so what I do is I try to set up the goal, what I have done the past year, and it's always my goal is to increase at least 10% next year.
Okay.
So the coming year, I have a little bit bigger goal than that. I want to net $1 million, not
Wow.
gross or anything, net $1 million. And I know I have already done my work, and I know I have to have 40 transactions in order to do so. And usually I carry between 30 and 50 transactions. So I'm pretty sure I'll be able to achieve that.
What's your average sales price right now?
Mine is 1.5 million.
I can speak to the masses. You got an awful lot of people that wish they had your average sales price. And that is so awesome. And congratulations on all the success you're having. I know you're going to be netting $1 million in 2021, and it is so exciting to talk to that.
Thank you. Thank
Catherine,
you. I'm excited.
I know you set goals in both business and personal. Can you walk me through how you think about goal setting and why it matters?
Yes, I do. For next year, my goal is like monetary, yes, but I also want to have more time with my family because I always, when I travel, I'm always on the phone, constantly doing deals, and I don't want that anymore because my children are already 12 and 6, and I want to spend more time with family. So my goal is actually to work less while making the same or a little bit more money. So I have to find more leverage. At the same time, I feel when you have goals and you reach them, for me personally, I feel it's a failure when I reach my goal. I feel I haven't set the goal high enough. So in all my years in the business, I have never reached my goal. And I'm really glad I didn't, because it would make me feel it was not big enough. So set big, big, big goals.
I love that. You and Gary Keller both say the exact same thing. And I sympathize with you about the little people and then watching you work. In kindergarten, the teacher said to my little guy, "What does your dad do for a living?" And my kid said, "Oh, he's a pilot." I'm not a pilot, by the way, everybody. I just used to travel for business a lot. I don't even know what to say to that. Both of y'all are absolute Jedi. You guys are awesome. Hey, Romana, this time next year we talk, and I want to hear all about you netting $1 million. But Catherine, you're moving on to round 2. We're going to be seeing you in another minute, so do some stretching, drink some Gatorade. We'll be seeing you again soon because you're going up against John Dietz in the second round.
Oh, nice.
We'll see you soon. Those are big goals. Like this idea, like net $1 million, that's a giant goal. But then you heard Catherine who said, look, I'm really happy with where I am with my money. What I want to do is I want to bring more time back into my life. And so the vast majority of us are going to be choosing between having more time or having more money. Then there's the small section of us that want to have both of those things simultaneously. The goal should be around whatever speaks to you the most. And what I mean by that is, what are you feeling right now is missing? Because anything that's missing, you can manifest into actually having more of. You see, every time this year, I see people sit down and they write their goals and they're based on these numbers. What if you asked a different question? What if you simply asked, what are the activities that I want to be doing more of in 2021? Because let's be honest, 2020, we look back, a lot of us didn't get to do the things that we wanted to do. But what if we did the activities that we want in 2021 and we did them purposefully? This is to say, if you have trouble lead generating and you love golf, what if you committed to playing golf 3 times a week? You put on the orange pants, you put on a pink belt, and you look good. What if you did that 3 times a week, but you only did it with 3 other strangers? Do the math on this. That would mean that you'd be adding 450 people into your data bank, and all these people would be based on a shared event. You all love golf, and that's how you got here. Friends, that would be a lead generation model that I could get behind. Ask yourself this question. If you love golf, would that be a lead generation model that you'd have to force yourself to do? Or would you wake up every day loving your activity and saying, oh my gosh, I'm in the greatest industry in the world that literally lets me do the things that I want and then manifests for me the income that I want to have? This is the way the universe works. You see, you're going to have to decide what it is that you want, and then you're going to have to work really hard to tell the world what it is. And if you do that, then everybody conspires to help you accomplish it. This is the connectivity that those of us that realize it can't manage to unrealize it. And once you see it happen in your life, I promise you, it'll happen more and more often. All right, we got 2 more amazing competitors. Yes! We got Matt. We got Katie. We're coming to you. This is round 1 of the new bracket. We're going to see who's playing in round 2. Hey, hang on, hat. This is going to be good.
You got me fired up, bro. You can't start like that.
All right, my man.
You got me
Matt,
fired up.
I know you're good. Katie, I know you're good. All right, you guys. Katie, call it in the air.
Tails.
Tails. It is tails. Now, do you want to go first or do you want to listen?
I'm going to let Matt take this one first.
All right,
baby.
Matt's
Let's go.
busting
Let's
out
go.
the
Hang on. Let me
gates.
get ready. Hang on. Let me get ready. Let me get ready.
Oh, it's there's a great arm wrestling movie where he turns the hat
I know,
around. And all of a
right?
sudden,
Over the top. Here we go.
you are Hawk. We're going over
Yeah.
the top. All right, I'm your Bull Hurley. You'd have to. Some of you won't understand that. Josh won't. It's from a different era.
got you.
Okay, here we go. You're calling into your sphere of influence, and you're wishing them all happy holidays and a happy new year. This makes sense.
Yep.
And then one of them says to you, it's so convenient that you're calling. We're thinking about doing business and listing our home. And you naturally say, oh my gosh, I'd love to help. And then they say, I got to be honest with you, Matt, I love that, but I don't believe mixing business with friendship. I don't do business with friends. I think I'm just going to go find another realtor. But hey, have a great holiday.
Yeah. Cool. You go. Jason,
You got 1
listen,
minute
I
on the
told
clock.
you-
Go.
Go, baby. Hey, listen, I totally understand where you're coming from. I felt the same way a lot of times in my life where I didn't want to mix business with family, with pleasure, with people that I know. So I understand. The truth is, man, it really comes down to a couple of things when we think about that. And I wonder what it is for you. Is it that you don't want me the personal information? Is it that you're nervous about me handling it correctly because we're so close? And no matter what you have to understand is I am here to make sure that you will be successful, whatever you're trying to do. And I refuse to believe that someone that not so close to us, that we've been in a relationship for 10 years, I refuse to believe that someone else will take better care of you than me. I know I'm the right person for the job. I have the skill set. I have the knowledge. I have everything. Listen, let's mix family and business, baby. Let's do this thing. Let's get it done and let's go after it.
I love it. Break script. That was exactly 59 seconds. I loved it. Look, by the way, the things that you mentioned, I got to think those are the two reasons that people get nervous about it. Like, yeah. I really well done, man. I love that. All right, Katie, you call to wish me a Happy New Year. And I love that, by the way, and I'm sure you will. And we were going to actually be listing our home. We just don't believe in mixing business with friendship. We don't want to lose the friendship over it. But maybe you can refer us to somebody.
You know, Jason, I can appreciate your position, and yet let me ask you, who knows you better, cares more about your outcome, and will look out for your long-term well-being more than family like me? See, my business is relationship-based, and that's allowed me to grow. I'm not just a transactional agent, I'm a relational agent. Would you rather have an agent looking for a commission check or work with a trusted family member looking to help you build your long-term wealth? This is likely one of the largest financial decisions of your life. And who better to work with than someone you already know, like, and trust? So does tomorrow evening or Wednesday morning work better to talk? Because I know that this is the best idea of your life to mix business and family.
Boom, printed. 42 seconds in. I have no idea how you pick out there in internet land. I don't know how you do that. I'm so glad I don't have to. You do it. Okay, go vote now. Okay, that was absolutely spectacular. Matt, I want to come to you first, and I want to talk goal setting. And so far what we've heard is you got to do it. We've heard that if you don't do it, you won't get the results that you want. What I'd love to dig into here, when you set a goal, Matt, on those days when it's the furthest thing from what you want to be doing, how do you manage to make it live and breathe on those days? How do you push through when you don't want to?
Yeah, that's really good. The truth is there's never a day that I don't go by looking at my goals. So what we teach, what we preach, and what we do is that we're in it on a daily basis. Our planners, our systems, our processes, the team, the coaching, all of it, we're writing down our goals every day. So every day we have things that we're trying to hit. Those are our goals. There's never a week that goes by. I mean, we're doing 411s on a weekly basis, and then we're breaking it down in huddles on 9 a.m. at 12 a.m. So we're high level of accountability, hitting those goals. So we're writing down our goals every day, every morning, every afternoon, and then it just takes the activity to go crush it. So we don't allow it to go far from our mind. We have to focus it on a daily basis. And you get what you focus on, right? Whatever's in front of you, that's what you're going to accomplish. So that's why we look at it every day.
I think that makes an awful lot of sense. You're making it live and breathe. Katie, and by the way, I think there's only so many different variants of that really good answer that we would always hear. I want to go a little bit of a different route with you when we talk about goal setting. Are you setting goals in your business and your life, or do you think of those things as mutually exclusive of each other? How do you do it?
So I think business and personal life really work well together in that in order for one to be working at a really high level, the other one has to have a great high level capacity as well. So we are setting on our productivity coaching team, we're setting a goal of $1 million in company dollar contributed to our market center by our PC program. I am also in production myself, but mainly I'm the head productivity coach at the office. So that's a big goal. I'm talking to my agents multiple times a day about that and them hitting their goals. And then for my personal goals, there's a lot of exercise related as well as investment properties. So I like to look at both of them together, and you really can't have one at a high level without the other.
I love it. Both great answers. Y'all are absolute Jedi. You're both great. The energy that you bring is infectious. You can't help but love it. Matt, You did great, dude, but I got to tell you, they voted and the people spoke. Katie, you're moving on to round number 2. You are going to be meeting an absolute expert, whether it's Catherine or Mignon when you get there. I can't say that I envy you. I can say, go have a Gatorade, go do some stretching. We're going to see you again in a minute.
Thank you.
I love that, right? How could you not love both of those people who look up? And you heard Matt say, look, I set my goals, but then I make them live and breathe with a 411. Hold up your 411s right now. Oh, what do you mean? The vast majority of you don't have one? Yeah, I don't get that either. I'll be honest with you, since we're in the trust with the thing with the tree of trust, I'll be candid. When I got to KWRI and Gary Keller said, let's see your 411 for the week, I was like, that's real? Yes, it turns out that's really real. Everyone here at KWRI maintains a 411, and we all turn them in, and those 411s roll up to the 135. And if you're a guest and you're watching this, what am I talking about? What I'm saying is there's no reason to make a goal unless we're going to have tools by which that goal can then be realized. So goals are nothing more than events out in the future. They're ideas that force us to set habits. Those habits on a regular basis produce outcomes. That's the way that this works. And so I want you to think for a second about all of the goals that you've set, and then ask yourself how many of them have been realized. And then I want you to ask yourself a very important question. Why did it fail to happen? Now, maybe it was the wrong goal. I'm open to that idea. Maybe it didn't live and breathe. Maybe you didn't adopt the habits. You know the answer. Someone said to me the other day, they said, Jason, I'm so tired of starting over. And I said, well, then stop giving up. That's the thing that separates so many people. You hear Kristen Cole led with grit. And I don't mean that grit is something that's on demand. I think that grit is caused by having belief that you're good enough and you deserve to have the things that you want to have. And so how does one will this belief into your life when belief can't be willed? And I would tell you that it's the same way that you learn about the universe and the world around you, through the attainment of knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is all the things that you're going to read. It's the specific scripts that you're hearing today. Those should be unlocking the wisdom that you already have inside of you. And by wisdom, I mean simply common sense. Think of it with this. I believe that you are born with all of the wisdom that you actually need. And people that like Mignon and Catherine that you're about to hear, they have this amazing ability to say the words that bring you to insight. And you say, oh my gosh, I heard it and I had this amazing insight. I would tell you that it was there all the time. It was actually an outsight when they gave it to you, but it unlocked an insight that you have inside. And so it's possible that your question for 2021 will be, how many people can I find that have the key to all of my internal wisdom? If you run around simply looking for key makers, I promise you'll end up unlocking a lot more doors, because I believe that you have everything you already need. So how does this all tie together with goal setting? You first have to understand what it is that you want before you can seek the knowledge to learn how to unlock the wisdom inside of you to get what it is you need. That's the whole idea here. So as you're listening to all these people who have mastered the art of the word, all you're doing is trying to find your unique voice within their framework. That's how you learn scripts and dialogues. All right, you guys, we're going to the next round, and it is going to be an awesome one. This is the last round of the first round. And see with all the rounds. Here we go. All right, ladies. I appreciate you doing this. Catherine, how are you doing?
I'm blessed and highly favored. How are you, Jason?
Oh my gosh, I'm blessed and highly favored. I love that response. I love it. And Mignon, how are you?
I am well, thank you. Super excited to be here. Thank you.
So excited to have you. Okay, we're starting on this side all day today. So Mignon, call it in the air. Heads or tails?
Tails.
It's heads, actually. So, Catherine, would you like to go first or listen?
I will listen first.
You're going to listen. Okay, then, Mignon, I'm coming to you, and here we go. Oh, this is a good one. By the way, I heard today, anecdotally, I don't know if this is true, that there's more real estate agents in the United States than there are active listings. And if that's true, I think that might be the first time in my lifetime that that's the case. And that leads us to this question. Mignon, you're on a listing appointment. And the thing is going great, and they like you, and they like everything about it. And then they say, you know what? There's really very few listings on the market. We're just going to go by owner. We think we can put a sign in the yard, and then this thing is just going to sell. Thanks for coming, though. You're great.
You know what, Jason, I can truly appreciate the fact that what you have got is an opportunity in front of you like you've never had before. And what we don't want to do is put you in a position that you would be liable for the contracts and understanding the state laws. Where are we as trained professionals are here to help you through those transactions, help you understand the value of working with a professional realtor, and also to understand how to negotiate in your best behalf. There are statistics, we've got some great data. We can talk about how a listing on that works with a professional realtor actually gets more money. And really, after all, isn't it about making the transaction smooth and easy for you, where you actually net the most amount of money with the least amount of hassle? Let's meet tomorrow at 4 o'clock or Saturday at 10. Which one's better for you?
Count it. It's in the books. I love it. Really, really well done. So smooth. I can tell you've said that a million times, but it just rolled right off. I love it. All right, Catherine, look, thanks for coming by the house. Appreciate it, or the Zoom call or whatever it is. This has been great. There's no inventory on the market, and so we're just going to go by owner. We're pretty sure it's going to sell.
Absolutely, and I can definitely respect your want to sell it by owner with the low inventory right now. Yet, if there's a way that I could show you that by partnering with me in order to get your home sold, we can get you the most amount of money and get you into your new home, wouldn't that be something that you would be interested in?
Yeah, I'd be interested in that, I guess. I'm not interested in
Awesome.
paying commission.
Okay, and what's more important to you? Is paying commission more important or making the most amount of money?
Boom, print it, good to go. That was 30 seconds of fire. And by the way, Catherine, that's right. That's exactly what it comes down to. And so, Mignon, I love that you use the word partner also. Like, the truth is, we're going to partner together to sell a house. It's a different kind of relationship. I love it. All right, you guys, I need you to vote. Again, I have no idea how you pick a winner in that one, because both of them would have gotten me to sign on the line that is dotted. Good luck, vote. Okay, Catherine, we're going to go in fast, rapid succession here. Talk to me about goal setting. Are you setting them this year?
Absolutely. Our team is currently reading the 12-week year. So goal setting to the now, of course, is what we're doing, and chopping that up into 12 weeks and setting that as our goal instead of looking at the full year, making sure that we hit that mark at the 12-week line. And then if we're taking a break right after that to make sure we're reassessing, realigning, and getting where we need to be.
I love it. Again, right? Annual years are just for tax purposes. You pick how long it's going to take and how long you're going to work to accomplish a goal. I love that. Mignon, what are you doing with goal setting this year? Is it something you're doing? Did you already do it? How do we think about it?
Always do it every year, and I reassess them constantly, because as we go along through the trend, through the year, sometimes we hit the target a little early, or sometimes we might be not hitting it quite right. But you know what? I always have my goals in front of me. Every time I'm having a meeting, my goals are in my line of sight. So I can always watch and look and see where we are in trajectory. And I always have the really big goal in front of me, and just really excited whenever we hit it. So it's always focusing on abundance and making sure that we're all learning together and reading excellent books that make all the difference. This year's book in Word actually is abundance. So that's what we're reading right now, at abundance. And my word for 2021.
You can't go wrong with it. I'm going to steal that from you, and I'm taking abundance also. And it's with great joy and abundance. I got to tell you, we loved everything you did for us today. But the people have spoken. Catherine, you are moving on to the second round. You're going to be meeting Katie in the second round. One of y'all is going to the finals against either John Dietz or Catherine Reed. This is turning into quite the event. So sit tight, take a deep breath. We'll be back with you again shortly. Abundance? How do you not love both of those responses to that script? It's so rare that you literally hear a soundbite and within 15 or 30 seconds you can answer objection. The reason that they were both able to do that is because they controlled fear. What they did is they instinctively said, the reason you're doing this is because you probably want to make more money, but what if I could show you that you actually make more money partnering with a realtor? Break script. Not working with a realtor, but partnering with a realtor. There's a difference between an employee and a partner, and they knew it. And they went right at fear, because real estate agents are Jedi. And Jedi's path is to always move through fear. What does that mean? Anytime the buyer says, I'm scared about moving forward, that's fear. Or the seller says, we can't put our house on the market, that's fear. Or somebody gets buyer's remorse, that's fear. All we do all day long is help people overcome fear. Do you know how many real estate agents will set a goal based on meeting a certain number of people and then won't do it this year because they're just afraid? It's okay to be afraid. That's when bravery shows up. What's not okay is to let this fear stop us from living our best life. That's when we go from being Jedi to being a Sith Lord. I get it. We just went a little nerdy on you there, but it's important to think about that. You're going to be battling fear your entire life. That's just what life is all about. Everything you hear from Gary Keller and from Josh Team and from Jay Papasan, all they're trying to do is give you enough knowledge by which to conquer those fears, to shine a giant light anytime you feel the darkness. That's the gift. All right, we're going to the next round. We got John Dietz. We got Catherine Rain, both champions in their own right, so there literally is no losing this next round. We're going there right now. All right, you guys, we are back. We are saving the openings because we've already said hello. Catherine, call it in the air. And that's why they give me multiple coins.
Tails.
It is tails. Fantastic. John, you know what that means. It's her choice. Catherine, you want to go first or do you want to listen?
I'll listen.
He's listening. Okay, fair enough. What do we got? Let's see here. I'd be honest with you because I know that you both work in really luxury markets. So I don't know when the last time you heard this objection was, although every real estate agent has heard it once before. John, I want to buy a house, but I don't think my credit is there.
Sure. Jason, I can really appreciate that. And if you were to purchase, let's just have a hypothetical conversation. Tell me where you're looking and what you're looking for.
Well, I'm looking in the east side of town, and I'd be looking for a 3-bedroom home, and I just want it to have its own yard and be totally adorable.
Okay. That's awesome. And I'd love to discuss a couple ideas with you and then put you on a plan to help you make that move when you're ready. If we were able to find an owner that would provide you with owner financing, would that be an option for you, Jason?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what that is, but yeah, I guess.
All right, so we could talk a little bit more about that. And another option could be if we were able to find an owner that would provide you with a lease to purchase option, would that be something you would want to look at?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know much about that, but I guess maybe. I do want to move.
Cool. And the bottom line, Jason, is I want to earn the opportunity to be your realtor when you're ready to make a move. So here's what I would love to do for you. I like to keep my friends and family members updated on the market. And all that means is I'm going to send you interesting information once a month. And I'll call every 3 months just to check in. And that way I can be there for you if you have any questions, and hopefully I'll earn the opportunity to be your agent. Would that be okay with you?
Love it. Print it. John, I dig that, right? A couple of different options and then the long-term nurture. This makes sense to me. I like it. Catherine, so yeah, I want to buy a house. I really do, but I'm not. And by the way, if y'all are thinking that you're not in a market where this sort of thing matters, just understand that 2020 may have changed that for you. Like when we look up and we look at the number of homeowner delinquencies, those are on the rise, and we don't know what's going to happen with government stimulus. It's very possible that this conversation is coming to a neighborhood near you really soon. Think back to 05, 06, and 07. Most of us never had considered having these conversations either in a lot of our markets. But then all of a sudden we did. So we got to be prepared, which is why we got to get uncomfortable and have the conversation. Catherine, I want to move, but I missed a few payments. I don't think my credit is all good.
Jason, good news. You've come to the right place because we specialize in people that have lower credit, that need to get their credit up so they can buy and purchase a home. So what I want to do with you, I want to put you in touch with my lender so he can give you the right tips and tools to get your credit up. He will also put you in touch with our credit repair specialist so that he can improve your credit. They will then report back to me on the time frame it will take. Sometimes it takes 2 months, 3 months, 12 months, depending on your situation. In the meantime, I will put you on a drip on the home that you would qualify for if your credit was better. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes perfect sense. I'm good to go. I love
Yes.
it.
I'm going to sign you up. We're going to get you going.
And I'm excited about it. I love that. Look, you here. Okay, so cool. Both people literally put me on a path to home ownership. They did it in precisely different ways, but I'll tell you this, they both told me there was a process and that my dreams were going to come true. I love that, you guys. Okay, the voting is open. Go vote. John, I'm coming to you. What do we need to be reading right now? What are you reading? What have you read lately? If I'm curling up in the next 2 weeks with a book, what am I curling up with?
That's such a great question. I'm reading quite a few books right now, Jason. The 12-Week Year is one. And Andy Andrews has written a couple really incredible books just recently. Just Jones is incredible in a series of incredible books. And I'll give you one more also by Andy Andrews, The Little Things. And one of the things The Little Things did for me, it did two things, which are so incredible. Number one is it got me in touch with one of the reasons we don't reach our goals is because we're afraid of success. We don't feel that we deserve massive success. And the other one is we lose sight, a line of sight of proof of hope.
I love that. I tell you what, everyone so far has mentioned this 12-week year. You know how realtors are. We'll take one book and make it famous. And most of us will buy it and not read it. It's my favorite part. Catherine, you've been in Gary Keller's mastermind for quite some time, and you're kind of a staple in that room. What do you get out of masterminding, and why is it such an important part of your year?
Oh my God, this is the best question ever. This is my, it's for me like blood, you know, or air to breathe. Like I have my bodies from the mastermind. I talk to people every single day, sometimes in the middle of the night, to my friends in California. Yesterday, I was chatting with one of my friends in Los Angeles. I get so much out of it. They pull me up, they kick me in the behind, and they tell me the truth. They help me so much. We share ideas, we mastermind. I mean, I really recommend to anyone that wants to get better, surround yourself with people that think like you, that want to be better, that drive you to your goals. And it's just been for me, I mean, I'm almost tearing up here, but it's been instrumental to my success, because you have to remember sometimes you have to step on a plane to meet with people that think like you. And during those times of COVID, we've all learned that Zoom can replace the plane, and it's so easy. Just find your people, find your tribe.
I love it. That makes all the sense in the world to me. And you are part of my tribe, Catherine. The people have voted. And John, you're moving on to the next round. Catherine, have a happy holiday. John, you're moving on to the finals, my friend. This is getting interesting. I'll see you there. I love what she said about finding the people that you connect with. And kind of a loaded question, because I know Catherine really well, and I'm a huge fan of her. She inspires me. And she shows up for masterminding. And she literally, it's like a contact sport with her when we mastermind. She's in the chat log. She's giving ideas. She's sharing unabashedly. I want to tell you, a big part of success is sharing that success with other people that are on a similar trajectory than you are. And I've been watching top agents for so many years, and what they do, at least at this company, is they share. And so if you're not getting what you need out of Keller Williams, part of that is on you. And when I say that, I do it lovingly, but you got to reach out and demand that somebody gives you what you need. If you're missing a piece, you got to reach out and say to your team leader, hey, help me find blank. This is the time of year, by the way, where everybody leaves in to try to help as many people as they can. If you need help and you're not asking for it, that's a real challenge for us. So I'm begging you, I need a Christmas holiday miracle. I need everyone out there who isn't sure what 2021 is going to look like, or isn't sure how to set goals. If you're in command, get into command. On the top, there's a banner that says, click here to set your goals. Go through that exercise so you can start thinking about your business in terms of buyers and sellers. Once you've done that, reach out to your productivity coach, reach out to your team leader, reach out to your MCA, reach out to your OP, reach out to your RTT, reach out to your MCTT.
What did you guys think?
It's always great to hear these scripts and just have the refresh of those bullet points you gotta have up in your mind.
Right?
It's amazing because, you know, you think you have like kind of your standard pat answers, and, you know, some of these rock stars are saying the same thing, but in a different way. And it's very refreshing.
Yeah, totally. So I have a very cool resource for you guys. which you're going to see in the newsletter, both from the office and the tech newsletter. But when you go to KWPM resources, I added in a new folder, and it's all scripts, nothing but scripts. I downloaded a ton of stuff for you guys from KW Connect, and I put it all in there for you. So, and all the scripts from the champions are in there as well. So lots of good stuff in there.
Wow, where do we find that again? I'm sorry, it was kind of garbled.
You know what? Let me put it in the chat for you.
Oh, thank you. So do we get to go to the finals?
You guys are awesome. We're going to be continuing to maybe 2 or 3 times a month, where we're going to be continuing on this Battle of the Script Championship. And so there's, I don't know, 5 or 6 different sessions for us to be able to watch. So that'll be Fridays.
Are we going to be able to watch the rest of this one then, right now?
Oh, the rest of this one, we are going to be running over.
Okay.
It looks like the session was a little bit long. So, so maybe the next session we start with the end of this session so that we can see who moves on. What do you think about that, Amy? Could we tee that up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. And I think that'll be 2 weeks from today is when we get the next session going.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. This was wonderful. What a great way to end the week.
Absolutely. I'm glad you guys got to come, and now you're fueled up for your weekend of buyers and sellers. And we will see you guys all in 2 weeks for this. Next week, we have a special live stream that we're doing, another watch party with best-selling author Dave Jakes. So that's going to be really phenomenal. It'll be just like this one, where we're just kind of tuning in and doing a watch party, and we can kind of converse in the chat. So I look forward to see you guys there too. If you're not getting the regular newsletter, feel free to reach out to us. However you got the invitation for this event today, we're happy to include you in those upcoming invitations as well.
Absolutely. And by the way, next week's watch party is going to be amazing. So put it on your calendar now. I've already gotten a preview and it was pretty cool. So put it on your calendar.
And those of you that are in coaching, you can just stay here.
Awesome. So the rest of us will jump on off. Thank you so much.
Hi, Ricky.
Have a great weekend.
Bye, everybody.
Hey, Donna. I'm only going to, I have an appointment, so I'm only going to be here for about 10 minutes and then I'm going to have.
That'll be fine. No problem.
Thanks.
There's Bonnie.
Hi.
We're
How are
waiting
you?
for Patrick too, so not a problem. And we'll jump off. We're going to jump off about 5 minutes of 2, and I'll tell Patrick because Jake's take is today. So at 2, and I have to go into a different Zoom account. How was the get together, the one before this one? Was it good, Tamara and Cynthia?
Yeah, it was really helpful. It's always good to hear how people handle different questions. And I don't know, they always sound a little bit rehearsed to me sometimes. And you can tell when other people sound a little bit more natural.
I think part of it is rehearsed, number one, but the more you do it, what happens is as you go along and you learn the scripts, what happens is that you automatically flip to that particular setting. And so in your mind, I go to this and this is how I talk. All right. So it all, and sometimes it does sound like that. So you got to try to
His dog.
Is that yours? Or Patrick, is that yours?
Yeah, that's mine. I'm gonna move to a different room real quick.
Wants to join in on the meeting, Patrick.
I don't know, was I supposed to be here?
Yes, you were.
Okay, good.
That's okay. Today is actually Monday, but they're kidding us and telling us it's Friday.
Yeah, every day's Monday.
Yeah, well, lately it is, yes.
All right, I gotta go to the safety.
No problem, Cynthia. If you have to leave, you just go in and out as you need to, okay, Cynthia? No problem. We'll wait a few more minutes. I don't know how many people are gonna be here, but whoever is here is gonna hear Patrick talk.
What do you want me to touch on today?
Pretty much what you did last time, because this is a different group from last time.
Okay.
Thank you. So we'll wait and see how many come into here. And Tamara, if you have to leave, don't worry about it. And we have to, I got to leave early out of this meeting because there's another meeting after you, Patrick. So if we could wrap it up about 1/4 of, that would be great.
I got about a half hour, so.
Okay, super. You'll wrap it up right on time then. If it's,
yeah,
that'll be perfect. Oh, and put your information in the chat, would you please, Patrick, for them?
Yep. Is Bonnie on the last call? She looks familiar.
Yes, Bonnie's on here.
Yeah, I caught like half of last week, so I decided to come on this one too.
Oh, cool.
Who's on the iPhone here? Oh, it hasn't come in yet. Okay, whoever is on the iPhone, are you joining? Because it's got you in like a holding pattern here. We'll wait a second or two here, a couple of minutes. They're on realtors time. Story of my life here.
Me too.
Whoever has the iPad, I can't get you in. So can you come back in, go out and come back in again? Okay, Patrick, go ahead and start.
Cool. Well, I'm Patrick with Guild Mortgage, if you don't know who I am. I did the math. I think I've been in the Lone Tree office 5 years.
Really? Has it been that long? Have I refied twice with you in the laundry office?
Yep.
And a purchase for my daughter.
Yep.
Yep. And a refi with her too.
Yeah. So
Patrick knows the Evans household very well.
yes. So if you need any dirt on Donna, just let me know. Just give me a ring. Cool. So yeah, I've been in lending 18 years. I run a team. I'm still an originating producing loan officer. So my team just helps support me so that when I'm on calls like this, your clients are still getting taken care of. What else did we do? I know we did some role playing last time.
Well, I think what I'd like for you to say is, how do you start out your conversation with your clients so we can get them to you?
Cool. So here's the best way to send me a client. Well, let me tell you the worst way to send me a client. Hand them my business card. That's the worst way. And the reason is because most of the time they won't call me. Lending can be a little bit scary for people, I think. No one gets super excited about calling a bank or a lender, I don't think. So if you just hand them my card, unless they're super, super motivated, they probably won't call. So the best way is to ask them if it's okay if I call. So that may sound something like, you've screened them and you know that you don't want to put them in your car and because you're not going to be able to get an offer accepted without a pre-approval. So you need a pre-approval. You may say something to them like, hey, next step in this process is to talk to a lender. The lender will get you pre-approved. In this market, we have to have a really strong pre-approval to get you a contract. I know a great lender, his name's Patrick. Is it okay if I have him call you? So the key there is you just talk me up a little bit and just ask them, hey, is it okay if I have him call? 9 times out of 10, they'll say yes. If they didn't really want to say yes, your scripting was just so good that they did. They just probably won't pick up when we call. But at least that way the ball's in our court. So because the ball's in our court, we can keep you updated. So every time we try and reach out to a client, and I noticed I said try. So even if we don't get a hold of them, we will update you. So if we call and leave a voicemail, we'll let you know, hey, we reached out, left a voicemail. If we call and get an application, we'll let you know. If we call and set an appointment, we'll let you know. So if you put the ball in our court, then you keep updated and we help you convert that client into a closing because we're going to be calling them and chatting with them and texting them and that kind of thing. Okay. So that's the best way to get them in front of us. Once you get them in front of us, so if let's say your client says yes, you just shoot me an email with their name and phone number. What'll probably happen is my team will call them. So my team will call them and they'll say, Donna, you want to be my client? You're muted.
Yep. Sorry.
Okay. So that may sound something like, hey, Donna, it's Eric on Patrick Langhand's team at Guild Mortgage. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for calling.
Good. Hey, Bonnie over at Keller Williams told us to reach out. She said that you were getting interested in looking at homes and just had some questions about pre-approval. Does that sound about right?
Yes, it does. We're getting ready to go out, but she explained to me that the best way to handle this would be to talk to her lender so we know exactly what I feel comfortable spending.
Great. Well, my name's Eric. I'm on Patrick Langhand's team. My job is to get you started. Patrick's in an appointment right now. So I'll get you started and get you on Patrick's calendar. I have a couple of questions to go through with you, but before I do that, do you have any questions for me?
Well, I guess I'm a little frightening. It's frightening to know. I'm not sure what the process is. Can you explain an overview of what the process is?
Yeah, so it's pretty simple. I'll have a few questions for you. I'll give you a list of any documents that we need, which should be pretty easy stuff. And then you'll meet with Patrick. Patrick will go over all your options. So different prices, different loan programs, different payments, how much money you need. Basically, he'll do a full consultation so that when you walk out of that appointment, you know exactly what it's going to feel like to own a home.
Perfect. That sounds great.
Cool. So how'd you meet Bonnie?
Well, we have friends, mutual friends, and those friends said Bonnie was in real estate. And I thought I'm ready to look for like a townhome or a condo. And I thought I'd reach out to Bonnie since they spoke so highly of her.
Well, cool. Yeah, you should totally thank your friends. We love Bonnie. She does a great job in real estate. And I swear on my life, I do not say that about every real estate agent. There's 40,000 of them in Colorado. They're not all good. So you're very lucky to be working with Bonnie. She's great.
Well, that's good to hear.
Good. So what part of town are you looking in?
Southeast.
Awesome. What have you saved up money for down payment? Do you know how much you want to put down?
I've got about 30,000.
30,000. Okay, great. Are there any specific programs you heard about that you were interested in, like VA or down payment assistance or anything like that?
I've heard about something that's called a CHAFA loan. What does that mean?
Oh, so that's a down payment assistance loan. You do have a good amount of money at 30,000, but we can look into some down payment assistance like CHAFA if you'd like to keep some extra money in the bank. So we can certainly look at that.
That would be good.
What's your time frame? How quick are you looking to move?
Within the next 3 to 4 months.
Okay, great. And do you have a budget as far as your monthly payment? What are you trying to keep that monthly payment at?
Around 1,500 or 1,600 all in.
Okay, great. And then price point? Do you have a price point?
Maybe 300 tops.
Okay, great. And then where do you work?
In the DTC area.
Cool. What company?
A accounting firm.
Oh, great. Cool. And then do you happen to know what your credit score might be?
I believe it's 784.
Oh, great. Nice job. Cool. Well, hey, next step. Thank you for giving me all that. So now that we know all your goals, what you're trying to achieve, let's get you on Patrick's calendar. We do our appointments over Zoom. He's got a 4 or a 4:30 on Monday. Which one works best for you?
4 o'clock would be great.
Great. So I'll book that. I'm going to send you a email confirming with a link to the Zoom and a list of any documents I need. Okay.
That sounds wonderful. Thank you.
Cool. Next step, I just need some basic information so Patrick could be prepared. And then that's kind of when we go into name, date of birth.
Right.
So that's kind of what your client will experience if you refer someone to us and we get a hold of them. Our goal is to find out their goals, number 1, set a consultation with me. Number 3 would be get the application. And then number 4, we would go over next steps. And so when that happens, we'll actually carbon copy you on the email, the appointment confirmation, so that you know that an appointment was set, when it is, all that stuff. You're also more than welcome to join in on that appointment with your client and me, so you can see everything we're talking about. So that's the flow. Now, the only other thing I'll throw out there is if we don't get a hold of them, we're going to call, text, email them 3 times, 3 days in a row. If we don't get them, we're going to call you and say, what do you want us to do now? We don't want to bug the bejesus out of them. A lot of agents will say, how about we just pull it back to once a week? And so then we'll go 3 weeks in a row, once a week, call, text, email, don't get a hold of them. We'll call you. Now what? And then we'll go 3 months. So there's so many different studies out there, but for sales studies, sometimes it takes, if you can do 13 contacts, your conversion goes up 80% or something like that. So, in the first 3 days, we have 9 contacts. In the first month, we have, what would that be? 18 contacts. So we're trying to help you convert clients too. And that works really well on like colder leads, like sign calls, open houses, that kind of thing. Is we'll stay in front of them to try and convert them. And then the only other situation would be, let's say we get through that script and they don't like we know they're not going to qualify. So they say, oh, I have a 500 credit score. We don't give up on people. So what we would do is we would coach them on what they need to do. So if it's credit score, we'd refer them to credit repair, send them an email with who to contact for credit repair and carbon copy you. And we set a follow-up for 1 week to see if they signed up for the credit repair. There's other scenarios too. Like right now we're getting a lot of people who are self-employed who are about to file their tax returns, and they want us to check their tax returns before they file to see what they'll qualify for, in case they need to write off a few less lunches and, entertainment stuff. So, so basically the point is we don't give up on people. The longest one I've had is it took me 3.5 years to go from lead to a closing with a client. It
The
was
longest
3.5
I ever
years.
had was 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I
never
actually,
seen-
this client, I had done so many follow-ups and they were actually qualified. I called them up one day and I was like, and the market was good back then too. I said, hey, if you had bought a year ago, you would, or sorry, if you had bought when we first spoke, you'd be $150,000 richer. And he went out that weekend and went under contract.
Yeah.
We try and help you convert is the point.
Yeah,
Cool.
mine was a divorce case. It just took them a long time to get over it. So sometimes you have clients like that. It is.
We get people, credit's probably the most common issue is that we have to work on is credit. But we also get like, you know, they need to get a better job, or sometimes even they don't have a job. But we always work with people. So if they don't have a job, we'll check in with them once every 6 months to see if they got a job. So, and then whenever we convert that into someone who can actually purchase, we'll always send it back to you.
Bonnie,
Cool.
do you have a question of Patrick that you'd like to ask him?
No, but one of the things I did find out recently that I thought was interesting was that if somebody is going through a divorce, they have to have a certain amount of years still left in their agreement. So I found that very interesting. I did not know anything about that before.
There are a million different rules out there, so that's where we try and help you. But yeah, the one you're talking about is to use child support income. In general, income, we need a 3-year continuance or a likelihood that it's going to continue for 3 years to use it. So child support, if the kids are all 16, 17, 18 years old, they're going to hit emancipation within 3 years. We probably wouldn't be able to use child support. Alimony or separate maintenance usually has an expiration date. So if that's not going to continue for 3 years, then we can't use it. Trust income, retirement income, anything that we don't, you know, like if you have a job, just a normal job, we assume it's going to continue for 3 years. But if there's anything defined where it's not, then that's where we run into issues.
Yeah, and I had, just to give you an FYI on this, is that my husband has a pension. And as a widow, I collected, but I collected for life. And Patrick had to get a new statement saying that I still collected this for life. So as long as I'm alive, I collect.
Yeah.
And that's one of the documentations that he needed on my recent refi. But let's see, I forgot whatever. I had it several years before that, but we needed an update one.
Yeah.
But it needs to show that's going to continue, and it will continue until I die. So.
Yeah. And then fluctuating income, we typically go back 2 years and take an average. Typically, sometimes we can go back only a year.
So I do actually have a question about the CHAPA loan. Would you, like, let's say somebody had $10,000 that they were going to put down on an apartment or a condo or something. Would you suggest that they do the CHAPA loan or use what they have as a down payment?
In this market, I would definitely say do the CHAFA. So you have money to cover appraisal gap, or let's at least look at I'll always show them both options so they know. And then I'll go through the pros and cons. So, and also there's one called Denver Metro that I like a little bit better than CHAFA. It's a little bit harder to qualify for. It's a little bit more restrictive. But the way most down payment assistance works is they loan it to you. So they're not actually giving it to you, they're loaning it to you. So with CHAFA, they give you a 4% of the price as a loan. If you sell the home, move out of the home, or refinance the home, you have to pay that loan off. With Denver Metro, that loan is forgiven in 3 years. The balance actually drops 1/36 every single month for 3 years until it's gone. So I like that one a little bit better if I can make it work, because in 3 years, the loan, that down payment assistance goes away. So it's basically like a grant at that point. Because it's a little unnerving. It's worked out very well, but it's a little unnerving for someone to move into their home and they are borrowing more than they paid for it. That's kind of how Chaffa works and Denver Metro works. But the only reason I would tell them, right, if they, honestly, it really depends on the situation too. So let's say we're not in a crazy market where everyone needs an appraisal gap. Let's say they come to me, they've saved up $10,000, but they have $10,000 in credit card debt. I may say, hey, instead of using that $10,000 to pay, make a down payment on the house, why don't we do down payment assistance and then you can pay off your credit card debt? That's going to save you a lot more money every month, because $10,000 on your credit card is probably $300 a month. If you put $10,000 extra down on your house, that'll save you maybe $50 a month. So every situation is different.
Can they qualify for a payment or down payment assistance program if they have like $10,000 in savings?
Yes. Yep.
Is there a limit, Patrick, on how much they have in savings on those down payment assistance?
No.
Okay.
USDA is a program that's somewhat rare. You have to basically be buying out in the boonies.
Yeah.
That one does, they actually verify that you don't have, it's 100% financing. They want to verify that you don't have enough to make a down payment.
Okay. Okay.
So, but it's kind of a silly way to verify, because if the client doesn't tell me, then I don't know. It's not like we audit them like the IRS does. So, but yeah, so I think that's probably, with me and what we do, I think that's what we pride ourselves on the most is consulting clients to get them not just the best mortgage, but the best mortgage for their situation and put them in a good financial spot. So I had a client come to me recently. He talked to 6 lenders, and he'd call them up and say, hey, I want to do 20% down, 30-year fixed. And they all showed him a 20% down, 30-year fixed. What they did not show him is how much money he would save if he had put less money down and paid off all his debt. And it was something to the tune of $1,500 per month.
Wow.
So when I did my consultation with him, I thought he was gonna cry, because he was like, wow, thank you so much. I can't believe no one else has shown me. And the reason is most loan officers, most, not all, most are just salespeople. So, they think rate and payment on the mortgage is the most important thing, but it's not always. You got to look at the whole financial picture to make sure your client's making a good decision. So.
Cynthia, I don't know if you're still on now. You might be away from the screen. Do you have a question, Patrick?
No.
No, she may be gone. Bonnie, do you have another question?
So you said that the guy talked to 6 different mortgage people. Is that common for people to shop around for mortgage people? And does it hurt them to have that many people check their credit?
I think you need 2. I think 2 is about all you need, if you even need 2. So Donna may, after I hang up, Donna can give you her opinion. Okay.
No. I don't think you need to shop. I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
I think you have to have, as a real estate agent, 2 or 3 in your pocket, because all personalities do not fit all lenders. Now, having said that, you do have your favorites, and so you'd like to have 2 favorites at least, and possibly a 3rd one, but at least 2, because your buyers may want to request to talk to 2 people, and that way you can direct them to the people that are going to give them good answers.
Yeah. So I think you should have a portfolio lender in your pocket. A portfolio lender would be someone who works at like First Bank or Colorado State Bank and Trust.
Those lenders can do stuff that lenders like me can't. And then, so that would be just like really weird situations, stuff like that. Maybe they can.
And Patrick, do you have jumbo loan lenders? Yeah.
Well, we do jumbo in-house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jumbo loans are different than conforming loans, and those are, what's the ceiling on that, or what? Where does
It's
it?
597 or 596 in Denver.
And that means if somebody is buying a house that's say $300,000 and they're, $900,000 and they may put 20% down, they're going to need a jumbo loan. In 08, in 07, 08, and 09, there were no jumbo loans available for people.
Yeah.
And it was very difficult to get a loan when somebody was over, let's just say for the sake of discussion, 600,000 on a loan. Now you can, but the qualifications, not that they're different, they're just a bit more stringent because you're borrowing more money.
Yeah. So we can do jumbo. So I think you need a good local, we can get stuff done lender, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, that. And that's us. And we can do jumbo
as well. So you may want 2 of those, but here's what someone who shops 6 lenders is going to drive themselves. They're not doing themselves any favors, because what's going to happen is you're going to have 6 lenders trying to undermine each other to win their business. So then the client gets confused. They don't know who to trust. They don't know what's right, what's wrong. So that's kind of what happens. So when I refer out, this is how I refer. Hey, so I'm going to refer Bonnie. Hey, Donna, I have a great real estate agent. Her name is Bonnie. She is the one I know and trust. She takes great care of every client I've ever sent her. You're free to use whoever you want, but I really like Bonnie. Here's a list of, my top 3. Is it okay if I have Bonnie call you?
Absolutely.
That's how I refer. So you'll hear a lot of attorneys say you should give them 3, which is fine. Hand them a list of 3 and just ask them who you think will best fit with them to call. So, if it's a weird situation one and they're going to need a portfolio lender, then you'd say, hey, here's a list of 3 lenders. This guy's really good with your situation. I'm going to have him call you. Is that okay? So.
Yeah, and I'm not overly fond of banks doing home loans, just so you know.
Yeah, just for portfolio stuff. So portfolio would be like non-warrantable condo. They do weird properties too, like funky properties that don't maybe they're mixed use or something, stuff like that. So, and then what I can tell you is we do pretty much anything as far as loans go, but if we can't, like if you send us a client and we're like, oh, that's, that needs to be a portfolio loan, we'll let you know. And if you need a reference for that, or a referral for who can help,
And the other thing about Patrick and his team is that if he can't do the loan, he's going to tell you. He's not going to string everybody along and at the 11th hour tell us, oh, we can't do it. Okay. Because those kinds of lenders I will not work with. I do not like them because they cost us deals. And when I was selling, my comment to lenders were, if you burn me once, you'll never get my business again.
Yeah.
And Patrick has always followed through on everything. And he's done loans for people in the office or clients that agents that are in the office that have clients that have been turned down or have been very difficult. He's picked them up and carried them to, the finish line. And so keep that in mind because, again, all lenders are not the same.
Yeah, I would say if you have someone tell someone no, at least run it by us because we may be able to save it. So anything else? I gotta hop off and I gotta get my computer.
Sure. Well, we'll let you go because we're going to go on at 2:00 to another meeting. So Bonnie, do you have anything else to ask Patrick? Okay, good.
All right. Call me if you need me. Thanks, guys.
Right. There you go. And we'll see you at 2:00 on Jake's Tape. Talk to you later. Bye.